BP3, obviously the recasting of T'Challa, and executive producer Nate Moore seemingly leaving Marvel Studios. As I said on Twitter, I don't think that this is. We all knew this. We've talked about it here, asking where's Nate Milk Carton. Have you seen him? What's going on? We haven't really heard from him. We know he's attached to Brave New World. Haven't talked. Last time I heard from Nate was during Wakanda Forever. And I think that is purposeful. I've even said I think that the ushering in of Winterbomb was purposeful. Like let's start. We need to start showing this face a little bit more. We need to start having this guy talk because we're ushering this guy out because he really fucked up, and we allowed him to fuck up. But
I was about to say that is such BS.
It is because they allowed it.
Because I'm about to say, yeah, you let that man do that. You let him do it. You let him walk into the office with all this emotional. I talked to Cougar, and honestly, it was just 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes. What are you talking about, Nate? What are you talking about? $1 billion franchise, fam. What are you saying? Give those folks a tissue and tell them to come back in a year. Don't cancel. Don't kneecap the entire thing.
Yeah. And the thing that, we've said all the things before. We've all said this, but I've even seen this on Twitter. I've seen it from Raymond and some others asking, okay, well, this kind of worries me with Nate Moore leaving, him being the last black executive there. But one thing that we've all said, not all skin folk is kinfolk.
He wasn't paying us no dividends.
No attention at all. And before I drop some little things, because I did ask my source, I said, what's going on? Do we know what's going on? Anything with BP, with this green lighting? No really news on BP3 outside of whatever was told to be the last time, but there is some stuff on Nate with BP3.
Like, why? He fired. Why he get to come back?
Y'all aren't gonna like this. And I think again, although
decided on a concept, they probably already.
I believe so. I believe so. So this is before, and I'll just kind of drop this. And after I say this, I'm gonna let this simmer so you guys can.
I'm not gonna
grain of salt as always.
Okay. Yes, your source, your boy.
Remember when we had talked? It was some time ago. I want to say when I had the big L-shaped desk. I'm just talking in general. Nate Moore had brought up Storm. And when they wanted to introduce Storm and what he wanted to do with Storm and Wakanda and things like that. What I'm being told is that, yes, Nate Moore is going to be how quiet he has been on how quiet he's been with Brave New World, he's going to be very loud and in charge again on Black Panther 3. This is his last hurrah. And as his last hurrah, he wants to go out with some of the things and concepts for Black Panther that he wanted to do if he were to stay over at Marvel Studios. So from what I'm hearing, they're going to allow some of those concepts. And one of those concepts is Storm. And I do now, maybe they're telling, maybe he's being fired or leaving or whatever. Maybe they've sat him down and told him, nigga, with this third one, fix this shit. Bring him back. Maybe that's why Storm's in it. Or maybe, just maybe, they're going to continue to do what I've been saying that they're going to do. And that's age that motherfucking kid up. Because he was one of the ones that sat in that room, lied to, or told Van, we just couldn't do it. We just could not recast him. He is one of the ones that has doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down in every interview discussing T'Challa. I do not see Marvel Studios, especially greenlighting this man that played a hand in stabbing T'Challa figuratively and literally in the back and killing him, putting him back on screen, unless Marvel Studios and there's some type of mandate where they're telling him put him back on screen. If not, they're going to continue the story they ended with. That kid's going to be aged up by the time, because this could be some time after. We don't know what the effects of Secret Wars are going to do to the timeline and things like that. I told you, you're not going to like it.
My beef with that is that's not T'Challa, and we collectively, not just me and you, but like everyone in the community of watching these movies, haven't really strongly enough made it known that kid is never going to be the character, no matter how old he gets, no matter what you call him. The sentiment has not been loud enough because they're thinking, oh, you guys want the recast? All right, bless, we're good. Here's the bastard. He's going to be older now, and that's it. I need to do a lot more in my Twitter advocacy. I really need to
Not
get it
what it's
across that
about,
we
man.
reject
They
this
know
T'Child wholeheartedly. The T'Child was always rejected. We call him Toussaint. We call him TJ. We don't call him T'Challa. We don't
they
call
don't
him.
care, Chill. They don't care. They know. They know. Okay, like
I
they
think
can if
public
they can do
sentiment. Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
they can count. They can count. They also have Twitter. So when it goes viral, they see it. When you annoy them with
You ever
that,
watch a video of
they see it.
Everything Always and him talking, and then he'll say something like, "They're probably gonna make him the new T'Challa." It's
Mhm.
not loud enough. I need everything Michael
He's an
Roman to
individual, and
change the way
he's
he
done some
thinks
work
about
at
TJ.
Marvel. You're giving them too much credit. You're giving them too much credit.
No, I'm not. That's how it works. That's how public sentiment grows. We put out the idea and we keep saying it. We get active with it, and then we make people who weren't thinking about it think of it our way, or people who were thinking that way change their mind. There's a lot of people who go, "Yeah, T'Challa recast is due because it's been this long. It's long enough. Time has passed." There are people changing their minds all the time. They can change their mind on little bastard Nakia's son being acceptable as a substitute T'Challa. We got to do a job at convincing people that this character isn't reoccurring. He's not what Batman is and what Superman is. This is a guy who exists now. He's never existed years prior in other iterations and other forms. He won't exist again in other forms once Marvel actually hard reboots.
Okay. I
Yeah,
got you.
go.
I got you. I hear what you're saying. They know all of that, Chill. They know it already. They know people don't want a substitute version. They are trying to make the child as T'Challa-esque as they possibly can
Yeah.
without giving you the character that you want. That is
Yes.
the point of Storm. It's not for her to lead Wakanda. It's to give you the likeness of what you want, right? Oh, you want the king. You want the male leader. You want T'Challa. You want T'Challa next to Storm. Okay, we're going to make it fit into what we already have. This is not about what people. I have long realized that the sentiment of whether to cast or recast or not has already turned. It already turned. 850 from 1.5 billion is enough to say that it already turned.
And
The
it can turn
fact,
back
the
because if
fact
they
that
give you
you
this version of
it
the
can turn back.
substitute,
Let me finish.
if
I'll
they
let you
give you
go. I'll
this
let you go.
kid,
I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
yeah,
I'll let you go. It can turn back, right? But the reason why that they are not straight up just going back to what it should be is because they've already set the course to go in the other direction. Now everything that they do to course correct is not going to go back and say we were wrong. They're never going to do that. They haven't done it before. They're not going to start doing it now.
James
Everything
Gunn
that
was
they do
hired.
in the forward is just going to be course correction, but it's going to be on the same course that they set. They're
James
never
Gunn
going to
was
go back.
rehired.
Say what?
James
James
Gunn was
Gunn.
rehired.
James Gunn is a
James
white
Gunn
man.
did the last installment of a trilogy that he had already been working on. He already did the first 2 films.
He's
He
not
was
in
already
that.
accepted back into Hollywood after his weird tweets. There was no reason not to let him finish out Guardians and then go off and be DC's president. That is not the same thing as saying, "Oh, we need to create a whole new character to lead this franchise when its entire history was under another." Right? They made that catastrophic decision, and now they have to solidify it because they're not going back and saying that they're wrong. Just like Lucasfilm's never going back and making the Star Wars narrative about Luke, because they will never rewrite that story, because doing so will tell you that they've wasted billions of dollars driving the franchise into the ground. They will never admit that. They
I have.
know
I
people do not
agree.
want Shuri. That's why Shuri's not going back up there. They did all this blowharding and they paid people to try to spin a narrative that it was misogynistic and misogynoir and people just hate women, and then they abandoned her. Right? It's all about narratives. They know what people want. They're going to try and spin this into them giving them what you
Yep.
want.
And there were people who are going to go, "Oh yeah, look, there it is. That's acceptable. They recast it. That's good." And
If they do this, this movie will make less than Wakanda Forever, and they
I know
will
that. I know that.
permanently taint it. Okay, so then it's not about convincing them that a dollar amount is going to, or that more people want something. It's not about that because they don't care. They will willingly make less money. They're walking head on into making less money right now. They
All
don't
right.
give a shit.
I'm gonna make them from making less money to making less money by
Okay,
convincing more people that this bastard child that they're doing is a substitute and that there are only a
I think
finite
people are
amount
already there.
of
You're preaching to
movies.
the choir.
I'm trying to find the guys who are not on the choir. I'm trying to convince them that there's only this little percentage that is going to go to an all-black movie with a black lead, and you would be wasting that resource, that rare resource, to put that into a character who doesn't have recurring ability. Like Blade, Wesley Snipes played him for 3 times, and we kind of hope that Mahershala will play him again, but he set the foundation for a character. TJ is not a foundational character. He won't exist in next iterations, and that is a waste of a black casting and all of the resources. I have to get racial with it and convince that guy who may have been okay with the 3/5 T'Challa because he's from another universe, or because he is the child. He's not really actually T'Challa, but he acts like it because he's with Storm. I'm trying to convince that guy that this little character that they created is an obstruction, is blocking you from getting true real representation. And even if he's as close as he could get to T'Challa, since he's not T'Challa, is always going to be a net negative. That's what I got to do with my
That's a
messaging,
lot
and
of
I'll
words.
continue.
I would just rather tell people don't pay attention to it. Like, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't explain it to them to that degree. It's an inferior
Explain
product.
it. You got to explain it.
Nah, it's an inferior product. You spend enough time explaining, you're promoting the product. It's an inferior product. Let's move on to stuff that we care about, that where they're actually paying fan service, where they're paying service to the lore, where they are doing things that make sense. Dune Prophecy is getting a second season. I love to talk about Dune. I'm not going to continue to promote, even if it is negative promotion, studios who show a complete disregard for what it is their audience wants. If that's the way you want to go about your business, then the best way to serve that business model is to go where they want to give you what you want to see.
Now is a great time to segue into the comic shop Kickstarter.
Beautiful segue.
Completely fun. Awesome.
Chef's
Look at
kiss.
that. Do it again. You weren't on camera. Do it again.
Chef's kiss. What a beautiful segue.
There are things that we love and that we want to promote, and that this Kickstarter, which was at 160K American dollars, it was reached. They got 1,700 people to back the project. It's going to be a short episode. It's going to be episodic in LA of the OMG comic shop. That woman Cheyenne, that's the showrunner. She's a writer and she's also the lead actress, and she's going to be doing a little jokes here and there. We Pantheon are all going to contribute to promoting it, and no promises, but I'm going to have her on my show, but no promises. I'm sorry, but back to the TJ thing though. Back to the TJ thing.
I wanted to say this. Wait, what are we thinking? That they are going to put a different actor in the place of Chadwick Boseman as the T'Challa, and not you? Oh,
right
okay.
now it sounds like they're aging up the kid, but
okay, I was going to say no. They're not doing that.
Why waste the time in explaining why people are not going to go see that show? Even if they feed into the dogma, because they fed into the dogma last time. This is respectful, this is that. They said all of that shit online, and then they didn't go buy tickets. Or they went and saw it one time and they didn't go see it again. Or they pirated it online. But they did anything but support it in a way that would show that they actually liked what they were seeing. So why fight the current so much? Watch them drowned. Watch them drown. They want to march out an inferior product out there to prove a point. Then let somebody else lose their job. We already down Perlmutter, Alonzo, and now Moore. Who else can go? Who else can go? All of the Feige acolytes are gone. There's only one other place for that buck to stop. So if he's going to let this train go right into oblivion, make sure he's strapped in.
And I completely agree. I know Marcus is on the side of not wanting to promote it positively or negatively, but if they do this, I, for one, am going to be on their ass.
Guys, the train has not left the station. You don't need to not promote it or worry about negatively promoting it. Change public sentiment now before Secret Wars is even written yet. Like you're telling me Secret Wars can bring
so you're changing public perception as far as like recasting T'Challa
and rejecting the T'Child.
Yeah, but I think we've been trying to do that for
years. We've been doing that,
and I'm still butting heads with some of the same people from 2020.
When it's too late, it'll be too late. But I feel like the time that we have now, when I mean time, I literally mean I'm talking about time. Time has been in our favor. It is more likely to accept the recast. The sensitivity of that's not Chadwick is fading with every year. So you're telling me you're advising me to stop? No, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna make sure that this message gets
No,
heard.
I don't think that. I think because I don't think he's saying stop. Because the part I agreed with was not. Well, I know Marcus said he's not going to do it negatively, promoting positive or negative. I think he said when he's saying let them drown, as in like Kevin Feige. Although whatever, I think that there was some nefarious shit which I'm about to segue into with Beau DeMayo, whatever. But I think if, like he said, if he's gonna sit there and let this shit happen again,
Yeah,
then let them sink this shit.
fine.
Let them sink because the franchises, I've already said, I've been saying, the Black Panther franchise without T'Challa, the son of T'Chaka, is dead. It's already dead. This franchise is already dead if they do not recast T'Challa. So you can do BP3, you can do BP4, you can do whatever you want to do. You can do the World of Wakanda, you can do all eyes, you can do all that shit. Eyes of Wakanda is.
I forgot that shit was about to come out. You know what you want, Chill? You want a poison pill. You want to put something into the hearts and minds of people to negatively affect the direction that they're going in right now with the child. You know the best way to
No,
do that?
to prevent them from. Sorry,
Right,
sorry.
to prevent them. Yeah, no, to prevent them from going that way, right? You know what the
Yes,
best way to do that is? The same way I explained what the studios don't want is apathy. It's apathy. If you continue to go head on into the faces of the people that you know are going to resist you most, who gives a shit that you're going on a random Twitter thread complaining about recasters and you have 2 likes on a post that had 500 impressions? I don't give a shit because you're not going to go out and buy the movie. You're not going to go stand in line. You're not going to go buy merch. You are not going to positively affect this production in any way, shape, or form. The people who are going to drive the needle, the people who are going to tell you whether it is actually good or not, the people who are actually going to affect the bottom line, they don't want this. It's already been proven. They don't want it. They already rejected it. They've been rejecting it since Black Panther 1. We rejected it when you said you weren't going to recast them. We rejected it when the movie came out. When the box office totals come out, that made it empirical. Then it wasn't just opinion and feelings, right? Then it was actual dollar amounts that we can show to it. So again,
Mhm.
if a executive of a film studio, we're beyond public sentiment because his job is to look above public sentiment and make a sound decision as an executive. So if he can't combine what the folks want plus the numbers, plus what it was historically relevant for comic book characters, there is no amount of gerrymandering that you can do to change the situation. He's going to
We're
make the
not at the
decision that he
deadline
makes.
yet. No, but we're not
I
there
think we
yet.
are. I think we are.
You think
I
you
think if
think the
this
train
is
left
even
the
a
station? I
question,
don't think so.
yeah, I think if this is even a question at this point, we're probably in that direction where somebody needs to get fired.
Somebody did get fired. And when he did get fired, I did something that changed public sentiment in this discussing film post. I was a top comment showing how, what did I say? I said, it's good news for Black Panther. I wish Nate Moore good health and speedy employment, but he killed Hollywood's greatest inspirational African character on an impulse emotion. This was 165 times liked. This was bookmarked 64 times. And it was seen by so many people who probably weren't thinking of it the way that I was thinking about, who I have converted to the mindset of, oh yeah, Nate Moore needed to go, recasting needed to happen. That was the top comment underneath. 16,000
And
people.
you think
Ideas.
that if there was 10 more of us that could get 20 more people apiece to come to our side, that's going to make Kevin Feige go away from the concept
Yes.
that I disagree.
Yes. If
I disagree.
enough people can get there, yes.
Yeah, I disagree.
He knows who discussing film is. We all saw that interview.
No,
Remember
no, no,
the
no,
one?
no. He knows, but you're treating it as if they're unaware of it right now. Like it's just not loud enough so that they've been able to not see it. They know. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, Chill. They know.
They know and they don't
There
think
has
it's
to
loud
be a
enough.
reason why we made $600 million less this time. They know. Like,
They
it's
know. They
they're
know, but
not
they think it's a
idiots,
little
man. They're not
minority and they don't
dumb.
think it'll cost
They
them
know
thousands.
what people want. They made a controversial decision and they
Yes.
don't want to say that they were wrong about that decision. So to massage it and try to get the money back, we're still going to work with the characters that we gave you. We'll just try to give it to you in what you say you want, which is Storm and an adult T'Challa. But
Yeah,
what we're
and I'm
not
gonna
going to
say
do is completely go back on it and say that we were wrong. We'll give you completely what you want head to toe. They're not doing that.
he kind of set the foundation for that. Remember that one quote he gave where he goes, "It was much too soon to recast T'Challa," which kind of gave you the idea, like, what's he saying?
But that
I
was
know, obviously, that's
Feige
not a
that said
commitment to
that, though.
recast.
Yeah, that was Feige that said, though. Moore was the one that's always leaning on the emotions of the people in Marvel as to why they will not recast. Even in private Q&As with the public, right? There was the one clip where the guy was talking about writing a column, and he got actually asked Nate Moore in a Q&A about recasting T'Challa. And he told the man that there's probably going to be people that don't like this movie. This was leading up press to Wakanda Forever. He's telling people that you're probably not going to like the film, but we're giving you the film that we can make. We know that you're not going to be happy with this, but this is all we can do. If that's the mindset for delivering a product to me, you can keep it. You can keep it. Have it. Keep that shit, brother.
Yeah, I've seen people saying this too. What Raymond said, and
Yeah, this one, that one.
that.
Oh, you found it.
Well, go ahead and play that. Go ahead and play that.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Good.
Let's go.
The conversation of should T'Challa ever be recast? Is Chadwick Boseman the only person who can play Black Panther? I have my own opinions on it, but I'm writing a column. But I'm interested in what y'all think about whether this character can ever be anyone but Chadwick Boseman.
I think everyone has the right to how they think it should unfold. You know, I will say, as a fan of the book, the Black Panther to me is a mantle, right? And was a mantle in the first movie because his dad was the Panther. It's clearly something that's been handed down. I think that the story we want to tell is a specific story. It's not going to be the story everybody wants us to tell. And that's okay. You know what I mean? I think we only know how to tell the story that we know how to tell. And I hope when the movie comes out, people respond to it and take it for what it is. I think some people are going to come out of the movie going, no, we still believe what we think, and that's okay. We had to make the movie that we understood how to make. And Ryan had to write the movie that he understood how to write. The rest is up to you guys.
The rest is up to us. So yeah, if it's up to the audience to decide whether or not this is going to go successfully on this, he said it himself. The rest is up to y'all. So as an audience, tell him what you think about it. Tell him what you think about it. They already did. We already did, right? And I sure as hell don't think that he was thinking minus 600 million on his mind when he said that, right? He probably thought, man, here go the Hoteps being all Hotep about T'Challa. We'll upset you all. It'll be fine. Y'all
Honestly,
be mad, but y'all get over it.
Mhm.
But that didn't end up being what it was, though.
Yeah,
Hoteps
you're right.
don't account for $600 million.
And this is why I don't even believe Darius is scoop. I think that Nate Moore was seen as that black voice in the room. We just saw him in a room, and he was the oddball.
navigate
He
it,
was
yeah.
foreign. I think they were like, oh, we hire you for the reason. You're supposed to tell us about the Chillmonger, Marcus, Darius sentiment. You were supposed to be there to represent that, but you were giving us the wrong thing. You were telling us about how we couldn't recast. We don't even need you. Yo, your contract's up. We're not going to pick you up for another one. I don't believe
Now,
you're stupid.
that would be crazy if Nate Moore was
You don't
'cause I
believe
always
that he's
thought-
going to produce on Black Panther 3?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That's
Oh,
not reported from my scoop. That was reported from Deadline, brother.
That was Deadline that reported
I'll get to that.
yeah.
Marcus, what were you going to say, though?
I was going to say that would be even worse. If Nate Moore was the driving force of the mantle talk at Marvel, I always thought that was Victoria Alonso's thing. I thought that was her, initiative to try to make the characters more of a replaceable model so that you can kind of interchange characters in there as you needed, as you grew out of age groups. If Nate Moore was the driving force to convince people that the Black Panther fan base would accept another Black Panther under the guise of it being a mantle, fam, he never deserved that job in the first place.
Agree. Yeah, and he was.
Never deserved that job in the first place.
He switched things around for the Eternals also. He doesn't care. He thinks of mantles and titles and names, and he doesn't recognize true, authentic representation and how meaningless stuff like Michael B. Jordan playing Human Torch is. He looks at that like, yes, we got one. Right, guys, didn't we?
It's just dumb. You make yourself out to be a liar, or at very least someone who's just letting on to know more than what they actually do. To me, Black Panther was always a mantle. So what comics are you reading, bro? What source material are you reading to come to that conclusion? See, there are things that people can say that are a matter of opinion and that you can't really kill them for. But when you start reciting facts that aren't facts, and I can pull up any number of books to reference to tell you that you're wrong, and you are an executive at this company. You're an executive at a comic book movie company, and saying something that is demonstrably wrong to the public about an IP that you're the executive producer of. It's just
It probably
It
was
blows
him
my mind.
who got Wonder Man being black. To the Deadline stuff, the wordplay is tricky. Although we'll miss him a great deal, we look forward to watching what he does next while also having the good fortune of working with him in a new way on our next Black Panther movie. He was the
Yikes.
producer before. Now we're working with him in a new way. Isn't that evidence he's not producing? The old way was producer.
He'll still have a producer's credit, but I think he's going to have some sort of influence. I don't think that they would mention that last part about it. They would just not say anything about anything that he's attached to and just give him the credit if they were going to sideline him and do the project on their own. They wouldn't even mention the fact that he was going to be doing it. Maybe the production company that he's working under or created or whatever, they're going to be involved in the next Black Panther. I could see that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think if they were just going to Beau DeMayo him, like quietly let him go and then still give him his writer credits and then just
And
try to let it
even
go like that, I don't think they would mention it in Deadline. They wouldn't even mention that he's going to be in an active new development of a project.
even if he is, let's say he is, that does not change anything.
Right.
You still have Coogler as director.
Right.
You still
Yeah,
have Coogler
you
coming in
forgot
with
about a whole
all
human.
of that
You forgot about a whole
baggage.
human.
You still have him. I mean, again, I'm going to always go back to that. I
Well,
don't care people telling me, oh, that was in 2022. He could have changed his feelings. No, brother. They're still crying. And that's
no,
their
and
right.
that's fine.
That's their
That's
right, for
fine.
sure. Of course.
Yeah, sure,
The fuck?
sure.
Mourn, for sure.
But also, at least, so what I think might have happened if he got let go, this is probably what happened with Nate. He came in there talking that, listen, y'all, they don't want to recast. And I really don't want to deal with it. Don't want to piss them off. Don't want them in the media running us through the mud. Let's let them make this next movie without T'Challa. He said okay to Ryan Coogler, and Ryan Coogler did what Ryan Coogler does.
Oh, he killed him.
And Ryan Coogler did what Ryan Coogler does. So now I said that they were okay not to have the man in the movie. He wrote what he wrote. They all love it. If I push too hard, now I look like the craven animal from the Marvel machine, right? And I've been playing this role of this counselor, right, through a movie production. So I have to, right? Kevin Feige, like, hey, look, man, your rope, your noose. Go ahead. Let's see how it goes. And it went how it went.
And
the
we don't have to
reception
sign you.
was what it was.
We don't have to extend you. It's all right.
And,
Look,
and he got all of the pushback he was getting and the pressers leading up to the film, how he responded to it, all the quotes with terrible quotes. Some of the worst quotes we ever got out of Marvel was coming out of Nate Moore during the press lead up for Wakanda Forever.
for everything. Remember when he didn't want to hire comic book fans?
But then how do we explain the animation stuff? How do we explain,
What animation stuff you mean?
97, just them not using him at all? How do we explain these video games, if they are in correlation? Like, they're
So, you know that Nate's part of Marvel, even though they didn't call it that, it was the black section of Marvel.
right,
Right?
of
It's
course.
black section. He has all the black projects. He had Ironheart, he had Black Panther, he has Falcon. He's doing all the black stuff. It was the de facto black wing of Marvel.
Right.
The Urban Avengers.
Now, the type of company that Disney is, remember, this is the same company that had people up Beau DeMayo's butt because they wanted Scott to be the male leader of the X-Men.
Where were they up?
So imagine having that sector of Marvel set an edict. Chadwick is Black Panther. We're saddened by his loss, so we are not going to recast and we're not going to republish this iteration. So then now you want to be the white counterparts on the other side in the X-Men room saying, screw that, we're going to do whatever we want with T'Challa. You want to be the production outside of that umbrella that bucks that. Not at Marvel. No, not at Marvel.
No,
I think
not
at
at
other
all.
studios, you would probably get away with that. Not at Marvel.
But then do we look at what Beau said though? I know that people are saying in the comments, ignore Beau, and I agree. Beau does do a lot of fucking talking. Beau likes attention. But when it comes to that T'Challa stuff, we have to go back to what he said during X-Men 97. That there was, it was not up to him and things like that. And even though we're looking at what he said with that, looking at how he treated Sunspot, all that shit, I'm taking Sunspot out of the conversation really quick. I'm just looking at specifically T'Challa and what he said about T'Challa. If you take up what he said then you take the cryptic ass shit when he jumped into this chat on Twitter the other day, and he said, because somebody, Blue had said something about, I don't remember exactly what it was, but somebody had said in response to Blue, what if he wasn't, or no, they said, Blue said he's probably gone for killing T'Challa. And then somebody replied and said, well, what if he's not, and what if he wanted to keep him? And then Beau replied, this is all under Beau's deal with the bell. As in, bingo, ding, ding, there it is. That's the answer. So then I come in and ask him, are you saying that Nate didn't want to get rid of T'Challa?
And said all that he said?
Right.
And went with the mantle talk and the Shuri and all that stuff and created a new character. You went that hard to the opposite direction of what you really want, man. Listen, man, this sounds like course correction to me, but I don't.
Wait, you mean that videos and tweets and things can change people's minds, and now Beau DeMayo wants to look like he was on the side of T'Challa continuing? You mean that we could make people change their minds, even though they're...
First of all, if Beau
Got him.
DeMayo knows
Got him,
today
ladies and
that
gentlemen.
public perception,
We got him. We got Marcus.
if Beau DeMayo knows today that public perception is not on the side of not recasting T'Challa, he knew that by the time Wakanda Forever had aired.
I don't think he did. I think he was in his little creative bubble.
We don't
talk about T'Challa on the sidewalk. It's not just something you know. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you so I can't hear you, but people don't really know about the recast stuff. They don't put thought into it like the way that me and you have. So he's like in his Hollywood bubble of
He knew. His cat's name is Chadwick. He knew.
He had a sensitive emotional attachment. He didn't see my tweets and my stuff. He follows me now. I'm pretty sure he understands if he's on his timeline. If he's on his timeline, I'm sure he's seen a video or two, the T'Challa sentiment. I'm sure people on Twitter have told him after the Marcel for Congress guy.
Okay, let's say even before everything played out, before anybody got any fever about this on the internet, you don't think a guy who worked for a comic book company knew the very present jeopardy
That's what I'm saying.
Not putting the main title character in the movie? You don't think he knew that from the jump? Not being convinced, not following you on Twitter and seeing the recast T'Challa trending days. I mean, the minute that they said that they weren't going to recast T'Challa, you don't think an individual works at a comic book company goes,
he literally told us. But yeah, he told us that that's not how they did the Joker. They had to have some time away from Joker. Right, so that's what we're doing with T'Challa.
So he that was always in his mind. Now, whether or not he spoke about it publicly, decided on whether or not he felt safe to do so. But he always knew what the sentiment would be.
No, he thought the overwhelming... He ignored that, whether he knew it or not, Marcus. Maybe he knew it. Okay. He said the decision I'm going to do...
It's not incumbent on me to make you stop ignoring something.
But
if you've known it all along, I'm not everybody's therapist, nor are you. We can't make people go with their better judgment.
I just did. It's right there.
With who?
With Beau DeMayo. Now it's ding, 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 ring the bell.
And you're attesting that directly to you. You're claiming
Us.
that.
The popular opinion of how T'Challa is so important and can't be missed. I'm not me, not Chillmonger, the content
No, I
creator.
mean, you get what I'm saying. The movement. I guess, man.
Hey,
I don't think he's any more aware
we
of the
got him.
fact that people wanted to see T'Challa now than he was before. But it's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. I still think he's full of shit. I just think that I just think it was interesting for him to join that chat and say that.
To Blue, who's asking what was the meaning of the bell. Usually, when like you get a correct answer, someone will be like, "Ding, ding, ding!" Like you have a winner. I think that's what he meant when he was.
That's what
dinging
he's
the bell.
saying. That's what he's saying.
Think
He's
so.
he's implying. That's why I said, why even jump in and say that? Like he's implying that Nate didn't want anything to do with, or it had nothing to do, or wanted to keep T'Challa in the movie. Is what he's implying by that.
What if he's just trying to get a friend? Now he got another disaffected black man from Marvel. He's trying to make friends. He's just trying to make friends. That's all.
Well, what did he say in his overall? What was the overall tweet? Because it says something about black, last black. Because he picks and chooses. So what did he say? He's black that day. What did he say on the 17th? Is Black Day.
Whoa! Unless there were new hires since I left, there goes the only black executive producer at Marvel. LOL. No.
Yeah.
We could lose Nate Moore. It's fine.
Hey, he's funny as hell, man. That's a good one.
He's right, but like the actions of Nate Moore aren't, or the ideology of Nate Moore missing isn't something that makes me sad. It actually pleases me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. We saw Monica Rambeau diminished under him. We saw Sam and Rhodey really have to wait until
Was he involved in Secret Invasion?
Marvel old card. Who's that?
Nate.
I don't know.
With Sam and.
I feel like there's too many black characters for him not to be involved. He would have
I
had
say
to
this, Darius. Even if he's not involved, he's supposed to be in the office to be like, "Hey, yo, by the way, you're doing this thing with Secret Invasion." So like having him there, he's supposed to interject himself, even on projects he's not involved with, just to say that can't fly.
But then they're gonna have this conversation like, "Oh, he's being too black. We don't like that. That's not Nate. That's."
But they stick him with all the black talent in all the black projects.
But that's just for show, Nate. You're
giving me all the black talent to work with.
You can't speak up.
The number one character that he should have pride in is the one that he retired. So unfortunately, even though he was the big bad black executive at Marvel, he just wasn't wasn't successful at driving whatever agenda he was trying to do, or he was going along to get along, which is what
I mean, one of the main things I always say is you take it back to that video in 2018 or 2018. I always do that when Black Panther dropped on the.
Who was the executive producer on the Marvel? Oh no, Marvel's was Kevin Feige. You're right, Lawrence. Marvel's was Kevin Feige.
It is Kevin Feige on the Marvels.
No, yeah.
He still could have said something
take it back.
about.
He didn't have anything to do with Monica Rambeau.
He still slipped it in.
He still could have
if
said,
he's not
"I know you guys got this scene."
That production, I won't put that on him. There's enough to blame him for than to not. If Monica Rambeau's just not on that bucket, then I won't do that. But there's enough there to criticize. There's enough Sam Wilson, Rhodey, and T'Challa to go around. There's enough.
But Nate understands how important T'Challa is. He said it. He said, in order for people to first love the Black Panther, they have to love.
He did
T'Challa.
say that. He did say that.
I actually don't think I read that differently. I read that as to like this mantle and to like this world, this mantle, this person that we're gonna apply on other characters. Way. That's how I thought he meant it.
I didn't get it. I didn't get that. I mean, because there was no mantle talk in the first movie. Nobody was talking. I don't even think around the first movie. No, did anybody even say the word mantle in the first movie?
There was plans. There was a scene where Shuri raises her hand at the waterfall. So they did wanted to warm you up to the idea of somebody else.
Okay, but I'm talking like outside of the outside the movie. Like that wasn't a conversation. Mantle didn't become a conversation until they decided to kill T'Challa. So with that, it's just like I don't think that they.
So I mean, maybe that is evidence of him having to get along, say some stuff that he didn't really agree with.
You see this shit?
Uh,
You see this shit?
still on there? Yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah. We still talking about it,
Yeah.
dog. Yep.
There was a
Us
major
and
firing.
96 other people.
There's weeks to say that to us, and I get it. This is not one of those weeks.
He made me forget where the hell I was at. What was I talking about? Jesus. He took me completely off. Oh, he may be doing something that he didn't want to do, because again, he did flat out say, if you're gonna love the Black Panther, you have to love T'Challa. I don't see how you can interpret that any other way than what he said. And then just 3 years, no, not 3 years. What? No, it was like 3-4 years later. He's talking about, oh well, it's a mantle, and it's always been a mantle, and we have to make the movie that we can make. I mean, he does kind of sound like a guy who's saying something that he doesn't want to say, but I would want to hear it out of his own mouth. And then B, there's still so much. You went so hard, so far.
So
like,
hard.
if you were going to be out of here anyways, maybe make that the last straw, to signal to folks that maybe want to be behind your back and protect you. You know what will be a good test for all of this? Let's see what Nate Moore does after Marvel. If it was so hard for you to push the Black agenda at Marvel, if you were just facing hurdle after hurdle after hurdles, then when you have your own production company, it should be seamless. It should be just easy. The chains are broken. Let's see what Nate Moore makes. What is the first project he makes out of Marvel? And that'll tell me a lot about maybe what he was trying to do while he was there.
Nate Moore, if you are watching this video because you searched your name on YouTube and now you're looking, you made it this far, we're looking for characters with both parents. We're looking for inspirational people with jobs.
Basically everything that wasn't at Marvel.
But we want inspirational characters who are not like rejects. We want no negative tropes.
Sidekicks or villains.
You know what I mean?
Whoever they get in there as the replacement, the next skin folk, it's gonna be the same. It's going to be, you are a diversity hire. You are here to be the penguins from Madagascar. You don't need to do nothing more than smile and wave. And we're going to put your name on all the Black projects, and we're going to parade you around to talk for the Black crowd. But we want you to do no more than smile and wave. These are our characters.
Ooh, let's hire a new Black executive for Marvel.
I was right about to say, you read my mind. Yeah.
Let's
headhunt. Let's headhunt. Let's see.
Who's that guy from Fat Man? Who's that dude?
Find the blackest, whitest guy you can think of in the business.
The blackest, whitest guy.
And that's who they're going to set up.
I like Malcolm Spellman. Malcolm Spellman, who's the screenwriter on Falcon, and he's doing Brave New World. I got to see Brave New World first, but I think keep him around. Keep him in the bullpen.
Light-skinned dude with the hair?
Him. I've heard him talk.
Yeah, option.
Okay, options.
Man, he allowed some crazy shit on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
What if they were to hire? Well, you can't necessarily. I don't think you hire a director.
Help us out, live chat. Give us some suggestions. Who's Barry Jenkins? I guess I should probably. Reginald Hudlin.
Yeah, look him up.
Hudlin. He's got some Hollywood
cachet.
Okay,
he does have some Hollywood cachet. Reggie Hudlin wouldn't be bad. Reggie Hudlin wouldn't be a bad pick, actually.
That's a great pick there. If he's not,
it is a good pick, but they're not going to. Why would they do that?
They wouldn't. They would. Cord Jefferson. That guy just won an Oscar, didn't he?
Cord Jefferson would be a great pick.
His movie tells me exactly how he thinks about this sort of Hollywood stuff. His Oscar speech where he's talking about, we got to spend this much amount of money on movies and create new movies. Like, I want that Cord Jefferson guy. What is he doing next?
I have an idea. I think Disney would love it. It would be one of those things that they would flaunt in the media till the cows came home. It would be more of a mascot pick, like Darius is saying, than anything for them.
Raven Simone.
But I don't think that I like Regina King. I do like that. I also like Regina Hall. Regina Hall also has a production company as well. But this pick, I think, while they would treat her as, or they would treat the hiring as kind of publicity
get to it?
or mascot.
Hurry. Look how many suggestions we got. Kevin Grievous that I want to like talk on. I want to talk on Jordan Peele. I
Let
want
them give their suggestions and we can talk about them when I'm done. Lordy, the manners on this podcast. Anywho, for the people who have a schedule to meet,
Damn, I ate all my chicken.
Issa Rae. Now, the only thing that gives me kind of hesitation, she doesn't do genre. I haven't seen her do her own productions in sci-fi or action, or, you know, she's more comedy, drama is her alley. But if we're talking about a person who would fight for us in those rooms,
sure.
Yeah.
You also got to know enough to fight. You got to know comic book stuff.
She doesn't know a lot, and that would be a weird balancing act. So I think you could probably do maybe what like Warner's Brothers did. So you got a comic booky guy, and then you got a business guy. So do a James Gunn or a James Gunn Peter Safran thing. Give her a comic book as Reggie Hudlin, Issa Rae would be a dream team. Let Issa Rae go argue while Reggie creates a comic book concept. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
Go ahead, Darius.
I don't think directing, but I don't know if she could be.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about Nia DaCosta's Amon Benali. Blue.
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
Why not?
Aaron McGruder absolutely would not do it because he wouldn't work for Disney.
Because first of all, there is no way he would go in there and work under.
You ever heard Aaron McGruder speak like outside of Boondocks? Yeah, they're not hiring him, and he's not working there.
Would you work there
at Marvel?
Like this certain job that we're talking about right now that we're making up? The advisor.
Producer?
Oh yeah. Oh hell,
I would.
Yeah, I would do it. I'd make them fire me too. Yeah,
I'd work at Marvel as one of the little, hey.
So then why wouldn't Aaron
get me coffee? Type of people, because I'd slide in ideas. I'd be like, hey, I really like that T'Challa black character guy. Maybe we should get him back in there.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think Aaron McGruder is a little bit even more disaffected with America than I am. So like I don't think working for a conglomerate is in his future ever again. He's probably never going to work for another corporation.
Saying he's the stone that the builder refused.
I'd leak shit if I worked at Marvel, purposefully too, just for not recasting T'Challa.
I don't know if I'd leak stuff, but I would definitely take wild swings. They would be calling me in the office quite a bit.
Oh, my last
first. Falcons canceled. Scrap it. Let's get a tax break.
You seen those videos where people quit at Walmart and get on the intercom? Yeah, my last hoorah out. I'd give me Avengers 9. You leak that plot.
Let's send a very wordy email telling everybody who I didn't like.